I helped a bank migrate all of their data. I took a cut because that's fintech.
Yeah, I'm about to say you got the finance.
So now I know. Yeah, so now I know how to manage moving data for banks. Like I know how to do data protection from them. I know how to migrate all of their information securely. I know the entire process now. Just because I took a cut, and now I can leverage that into another contract.
Them niggas scared to make that move. You can't relate to that. I roll the dice, shit. If I lose, I'm gonna be shaking back. Cause lessons learned within the loss just elevate the fact that trial and error just the only way. Ain't no escaping that. I wake up, hit 100 push-ups, then I'm at my route. Check on my stocks, see how they looking, then I'm sliding out. When you start seeing your progression, you stop having doubts. And what's the point of having clout if you can't cash it out? True to this game, and I'm a lifer, ayy. Feel like we finna change the cycle, ayy. That's the most success, you know we thriving, ayy. That's the most depression for our rivals, ayy. Could teach a lesson on survival, ayy. You know I'm from the bottom, my pockets ain't it.
You ready? You ready, Dobby?
Yes,
Roller. 3, 2, 1.
What's on with it, wealthy people? It is your boy, David BWR, one of the founders of Black Wealth Renaissance. Still my brother from another. Jalen, what's on with you?
What's good with it, y'all, man? I'm doing good, man. It's your boy, Jalen, another founder of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. I'm here for another great episode. I'm excited about it. How you doing today, Dave?
I'm doing good, man. Had a little too much fun last night. We had a good little time, you know what I'm saying?
Don't talk about your ass.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Had a good time. I'm feeling good. Always good to fellowship with people. You already know, man.
Just blame the guests that we with. Because every time you go out with him, your ass get hurt.
You know, that might be, you might be on to something, man. But
I'm just saying, last time you skinned up your fucking knee was
yeah. Relax.
I'm just saying,
relax. No, man. Actually, I'm excited about today's episode. Got a friend of the show, brother we've been knowing for a few years now. Met him through a guest that we had on a couple times. Our guy Reggie.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Reggie.
Shout out to Reggie. RPA way.
You already know. But we got our guy Frankie, man. He's another brother from the boot, from Louisiana, man. He used to be in the military, transitioned out of the military into the tech industry, and this brother, he's doing the damn thing, man. I give him a lot of shit. We messing with him all the time about it, but
it's because he's an asshole.
He's really,
you know his shit on the
gotten into the tech field, found a way to transition from the military, and now working multiple different contracts, bringing in. I don't want to disclose his salary. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say over.
Rod his ass.
He might be in the 1% of earners. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming from where we from, coming out of the military. So we excited to have our guy on. None other than Mr. Frankie Pitts. Frank, what's good, bro?
What's good with you, man? Good. Thank you for coming on the pod, man.
I appreciate the invite, man. It's about time.
Yeah, man.
About time we sit down.
It is about time, dog.
Yes.
We've been seeing you make moves for a while now, man. We've been seeing you, when we first met you through Reggie, you were telling us about, you know, kind of what you do in the tech industry as a project manager.
I didn't even think he was in the tech industry.
Well, you were getting out the military.
Yeah, I was
right?
still in the
He was
military.
transitioning.
So, like, when we met you, we seen it, right? You were in the military, transitioning
I
out.
think you was suited and booted in your military fatigues and shit. Wearing them big ass boots.
They always wearing the boots.
No, I still got the boot.
I know you do. You ain't gonna never let her know.
I might come back out with him tonight.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, yeah, that's on another subject.
But yeah, Frank, so really just to kind of get it into it, I know I gave a brief intro to you. For our audience, please, just in your words, who is Frankie Pitts, man?
Oh, man. Like you said, I'm from Louisiana. I was in the military for 12 years. Decided it was about time to get out. There was really nothing else that I felt I could do in the military that would advance me in life or like move me forward in the direction that I wanted to move forward. So, yeah, so I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I got to do it the right way this time, though. Because I see a lot of people get out the military, man, and they just don't know what they're doing. They have no direction. They have no goal. They just want to get out. They want it to be over. Mm-hmm. So it never works out for them, and that's why a lot of veterans have terrible transitions, and they end up on the streets sometimes because they don't really plan it out. And it needs to be very planned. You need at least a year because the military takes care of you so much that you don't even realize that you've been in the military since you got out of high school. You might not know how to live a regular life. So.
Now,
that was my goal getting out the military, man. And I just kind of focused on it. I got lucky. Well, I don't want to say lucky, but COVID happened. So the world kind of slowed down. Mm-hmm. So I got lucky in that sense, but it was a big transition. So
you said you felt like you couldn't advance in the military. What was your role before you got out?
It's hard to. So when you get promoted, man, you might have a job when you started, but you might not be doing that job like you used to. So I started as a satellite guy. So we built satellites for the military. We set them up. We set up computer networks. But we were the satellites. Like we set up the link to the satellite space. That's what we did. But as you get promoted, you become like a network engineer. Essentially, what a network engineer is. They call it team leads in the military, but it's essentially a network engineer.
Gotcha.
But they don't teach it to you that way. They tell you you're a team lead. So when you get out the military, you were a network engineer. And you
just don't know how to explain it to us.
A lot of people don't know how to explain that, and that's one of the biggest issues. Is you're a network engineer. That's essentially what your title is, but they call you a team lead, and they do it on purpose to make you not realize that you could do better if you got out. I mean, it's a business, so you got to respect the business. But they give you everything for free, so you got to take whatever you can get. I got into after that, I got into communication security, which is data encryption in the military, where I encrypted devices. So
it's like cybersecurity.
Yeah, it's all cyber, honestly. But essentially you work for, like you get assigned to the NSA and they send you encryption keys and then you encrypt whatever devices. It could be phones, it could be computers, it could be computer networks. Everything has to be encrypted. Mm-hmm. So that's what your job is. And then I went from that to essentially what a program manager is on the outside. So you manage multiple. You manage multiple people. You can manage up to 60 to 120 people. It just depends on where you are in the military. But yeah, I kind of leveraged that, and I realized I was like, man, what is this equivalent to on the outside?
So I got a question. With all of those roles, not in the military, those are 6-figure roles. What type of money would you be making in the military under those roles?
Man, when I first got in the military, I was probably making $40,000-$50,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. As a network engineer.
As a network engineer, yeah.
And this is a technical role?
Yeah, this is all technical.
And then whenever you got to encryption, what would you say that was?
It still was only max 60 to 70.
And then once you got to program, did you at least hit the 6-figure mark on that one?
Even with, it's not built to, the military doesn't, it's not for pay, because we don't pay for healthcare. We don't pay.
And that was about to be my follow-up question is, what were your actual expenses? Like, could you still live a pretty decent lifestyle in the military off of those salaries?
I mean, you could live a very plain lifestyle. Now, I mean, the inflation is crazy now, but back then, man, we was good. I mean, we were young. We didn't really have any true constant expenses. Yeah, so it was just fine. I mean, you live in the barracks. You don't pay for rent. You don't pay for water. You just go to work. Gotcha. You don't really have to worry about anything. I mean, if you do live off base and you have a family, man, they give you what they call a housing allowance. So they pay for you. They pay your rent for you, even if you move off base.
So that's why you said whenever people transition out, they're pretty much being taken care of.
Yeah, and they don't understand how much though.
Yeah, they're really relying on them to take care of their shelter. Basically everything outside of food, right?
Yeah, they don't realize that when you get out, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. Like, everybody else is surviving the same way you have to. So nobody really cares about, all right, now you can't pay your rent. You should have made better life decisions, is what they're going to say. So, like, when kids, imagine going to the military at 18, you have no other life experience, and then you get out after 10 years. You don't know anything about the regular world. Mm-hmm. And because the military is its own world. You don't know anything else. So it's a lot that they don't understand. It's a lot they don't understand. And it's hard to explain it to them because they don't know.
So I wanted to kind of talk about that transition, right? So you were building these skill sets because, like, people, one of the things that's trendy right now, get into tech, start making 6 figures, right? But one of the things that I take away from what you just shared is you were working in the field beforehand. Yeah. So whenever I come in, I know I mentioned it kind of briefly, like you got multiple contracts, you're making multiple 6 figures, but it's a level of experience that you still have to come in with.
Yeah.
So when it came to that transition, right, you mentioned a lot of the veterans struggle with that. How did you start kind of translating these skills and like transitioning yourself into civilian life so you can start working in the actual civilian side doing tech?
Man, trial and error, honestly. So, man, so 2020 hit. I was just stuck in studying. I was studying everything I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that I was like, man, I want to be a network engineer when I get out because I just wanted to make a decent salary, man. I wasn't trying to make 6 figures. I was trying to make $80K at least. I was trying to make at least what I was making in the military when I left. And then I had a guy that was transitioning at the same time as me, and he was like, I hit him because he had got a what they call Skillbridge. There's a program in the military where if you sign up for the program, they would literally take you into a company. All the major companies have them, and they essentially it's like a workforce thing. They hire you for a position. You work for that company. They teach you, they train you, and they could possibly offer you a job at the end of it if you do good enough.
Kind of like Job Corps?
Yeah, that's what
like an apprenticeship almost type shit.
Yeah, but you can't get paid by the company. You only get paid by if you're still in the military and you active duty orders. You have to stay. It's pretty much like an internship.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's your place of duty. So you don't go to work no more. You just go to that company. So like if I did it with Amazon. I reported to Amazon every day.
Mm.
And they didn't check on me. They didn't worry about me. They checked on me like once a month. Hey, man, you alive? You good? Yeah.
You said the name of this is called Skillbridge?
Yeah, it's called Skillbridge. But a lot of people, it's messy now, man, because a lot of people have messed up the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard to get it now. I told you I really got lucky because of COVID.
So with your story, you hit up dude with Skillbridge.
Oh yeah. So I hit up the dude with the Skillbridge, man. He was like, I was like, hey man, I'm getting out. How did you get that contract with Amazon? How did you get the Skillbridge with Amazon? He was like, call me right now. Because I was stationed in Germany with him. And he was like, I was like, man, I'm just trying to get a job on the way. He's like, man, I just got offered $180K. I'm retiring because he did 20 years and he's 100% disabled. I was like,
hey, wait, you got to break that down, right? Because
like, what?
100% disabled, that means you still receiving salary from the military.
Yeah,
right?
you receive what they call VA benefits from the military. So it varies on your level of disability, but 100% disabled, man, you really don't have to work if you keep your life as simple as possible. Just it's up to you. Or you can get a small job just to like offset, cost expenses every month.
So now I gotta ask, right? You say 100% disabled. Typically, you hear disability disabled. That means you can't work, right? So how is he able to take on a job like that, receiving disability?
Because military disability is not like regular disability. It is from injuries sustained in the military. So
maybe you got shot or something like that.
Yeah, but you're still able to move because you stayed in.
Gotcha.
Like I have a torn rotator cuff. I was still able to lift my arm up and still do stuff. So they didn't make me. So they got different levels. We ain't got to get all into that, but they got different levels of disability. They got ones where you can't work. You can choose not to work, and then they'll pay you more money on top of that.
Gotcha,
Just different stuff, yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but he's permanent in total, which means you don't ever have. It's like his VA doesn't get reviewed, so it will always stay 100%. A lot of people VA benefits get reviewed every few years because some injuries are supposed to get better if you do the proper
treatment
stuff. But, yeah. Anyways, but so he did that, and he was like, man, he was like, send me your resume. He was like, what are you looking to do? I was like, I just want to stay in the tech field. He was like, all right, I got you. So he literally the next day he got on LinkedIn and he did an all call and said, hey, I got a soldier transition out the military. He posted it. He tagged all the directors in Dallas of all the Amazon sites and said, hey, I got to do this leaving the military. Do y'all have any openings for a Skillbridge? And I was like, appreciate it. And they hit me up immediately. Like, it was a veteran too. He said he got out the military in like 1994. He's an IT director out here. And he was like, as soon as I saw your name pop up, I tried to jump and call you immediately. So he looked out for me, man. He brought me in as a support engineer at Amazon in 2021. And then right after that, I got out the military. Yeah.
What does this support engineer look like? Really, how difficult are these tech jobs?
It just depends on, man, you got to study. So it's not like you can just, unless you're a prodigy, man, you can pick up stuff quick. But you got to study, man. I took a long time studying. It wasn't no overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
I studied the entire 2020. I was trying to figure out how to get out. I was interviewing, doing terrible. I had no coaching on interviewing. I didn't know what I was doing. But in every interview, I took notes after I messed up because I knew I had messed up. Because as soon as I get in there, they'll stump me with questions that I should have knew because I didn't know how to prep for them. I didn't know how to study for them. Because I had nobody telling me. There's nobody in the military that could tell you how to do that because they haven't transitioned yet. So they don't know how to get out the military. A dude told me he'd been in the military 30 years. He's like, I can't help you. He's like, I've been in this 30 years. He's like, I have nothing to tell you. I don't know how to get out yet.
Mm-hmm.
He told me straight up. I was like, all right, I appreciate that.
you had to go through and bump your head. But again, that's one of the things, like, the motion that you did created opportunity. Like, if you don't go through those experiences, like, sometimes a lot of times we're just so scared that we don't want to just take the chance. Like, oh, I'm not prepared for the interview. I didn't study enough, all that. But you still took the chance anyway.
Still did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I studied all night and still messed it up. It didn't matter. I just didn't know how to interview. There's a whole way you have to interview for them to clearly understand what you're trying to present.
So, like, in these types of interviews, right, are they asking you to show, like, technical skill?
I mean, some of them do. It just depends on the company, man. It varies by company. Some of them really just, it varies really. So some companies are literally talk to you and just try to see if you're a culture fit. Like, can we work with them? They just, man, I got on interviews where we just talking about football the whole time. Like, cause dude like football. He's like, man, what you like to do? And we don't even get into the technical stuff because he knows that I'm at this point in my career that he ain't trying to figure out if I can do the work. It's clear I can do the work.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to figure out if I like working with this dude. So I've ran into a bunch of those. I've gotten hired 20-minute interviews where we didn't talk anything about the job.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so with that, I know you were stumped on some questions. So whenever you felt like you couldn't thoroughly answer those questions, that's when you knew that you had to do some work on it?
I wasn't ready.
And then how did you go back and prep? Did you just say, okay, if I wasn't ready for this question, did you get on Google? Did you go talk to somebody? Like, how did you get better at that point? Because I think that's something a lot of people could benefit from, is hearing how to become better at interviewing. Man,
I got on Google. I would break down each section of the technical question. I mean, I got on YouTube. Man, YouTube is literally how I learned how to do everything. They call it YouTube University.
Yes, sir.
You can look up somebody is presenting something. So how I did it, I looked up how to be a network engineer. And then I looked up like basic questions that they would ask a network engineer that you're supposed to know. I mean, it don't matter what level you at. It's just basic questions. And how do I project that in the interview? Like, how do I speak on that? But then I did that. And then I was like, man, maybe I don't want to stay technical. And then maybe I just like the management side of it. So that's when I got into project management. I was like, maybe I just need to stay on management because I've stepped away from technical. And technical don't have set work hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like project
technical is like, you just got to get this done by project deadline.
Yeah, you got to get it done. And they work crazy hours, man. But management, hey, you got this done yet? Nope. All right. Okay.
So, all right. Now, I want to kind of take a step back, right? So, you went in, coming out of the military, you did the Skillbridge, got into Amazon as a security engineer. What certifications did you need? Like, did they help you go through that process? Did you have to go through it on yourself?
See, I don't take certs. That's the crazy part.
Okay.
So I'm not a big cert person, even though they would have gave it to me all for free, because Amazon has programs where they give you all your certification for free.
But why don't you believe in certs? Like, why aren't you big on certs? Let me say rather.
Because everybody chases them and think that's going to give them the job, and that just means you can test good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, taking a certification just means you know how to take a test.
So, you like when you're saying certs, right? Because I see they talk about some of them, like, what is it, CompTIA?
Yeah, CompTIA.
Security Plus, right? These are some of those certifications that I often see people say, get these, and this is how you can break into tech
in 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months and start making 6 figures.
Yeah, it's not, because it literally just shows you know how to take a test. How do you actually apply that operation? Mm-hmm. All I care about is the operational part. If it's not going to be a certification that teaches me how to use something or how to do something specific, then I'm not taking it. So, like, Security Plus is a good cert because the government pushes it, and you absolutely need Security Plus to get a government job in tech. They're not going to hire you without at minimum Security Plus.
Okay.
So I would never tell nobody not to get it. But I would tell them that it only teaches you information. because CompTIA owns no systems. Like they don't own anything. Like so they don't have like Cisco.
Like Cisco, okay. That's
Cisco has services that they can actually.
Like Cisco has their own different products.
CompTIA can speak on it. Speak on what possibly they're gonna teach you about Cisco. So why not just go get the certification from Cisco and save the money? So why not get the operational cert from Cisco, because they're the ones that actually have the software and the equipment? Why waste my time?
I got a question. You said you just look for the operational side. Do you feel like you speak from a position of privilege because you're actually doing the job in the military, so you kind of were able to bypass some of that cert thing, like you actually learned the skill?
Yes and no, because every company offers free training now, so it's really not an excuse. Like if I wanted to go learn a new, like if something like it's Splunk, if I wanted to go learn Splunk, they have the first course is free on their website. The basic Splunk course is free.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about hands-on. They give you everything. Everything is hands-on, so it's not. AWS, all the training was free when I took it. I just Googled AWS. They got a whole website called AWS Educate. All the stuff is free, and then they give you a discount on taking the certification if you want to take one of their cloud certs. As long as you finish the prerequisites in their pathways that they have set up on the website, they give you a discount code to go take the test.
So, all right, now I know you were with Amazon, all right, and we kind of talking about these certs. So, once you were working with them, you still have to go learn AWS, or you have to learn AWS beforehand, right? Because it's free. Anybody can go do it. Did you have to do that as prep work for it, or?
I did it just because I wanted to know.
Okay.
Like, I didn't want to come in like I didn't know what I was doing. So I got in there. I was like, let me start figuring this stuff out, because you ain't about to make me look stupid. Because they have, man, Amazon has so much stuff. It's crazy. Like I had never seen nothing so beautifully set up in any facility, man. They had literally floors of robots just doing stuff.
I believe it.
So I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's like, bro, what am I doing in here? But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that you can get from these companies.
So from that, what was it again? Skillshare or
Skillbridge.
From your Skillbridge position, how long did it take you to land your first contract?
From Skillbridge, maybe 3 months. Yeah, I want to say 3 months.
Okay, so was it a full year for you to transition out of the military?
What you mean, like after I got out?
Yeah.
Well, no, I did it. The transition starts in the military. That last year in the military is your transition year.
That last year is Skillbridge year.
Yeah. You have to do the Skillbridge before you get off active duty. You can't do it after.
I got you.
Yeah. So you have to, like, it takes that year to get out.
I got you.
Because you got to start understanding how I'm going to make a living for myself.
I got you.
Like, I got to learn how to be regular. Like, everything is not hurry up. It's a lot of transition.
Ain't no housing voucher, my dog.
Yeah. I mean, you probably got housing vouchers now because it's crazy, but it's just a lot, man. There's no quick path through it.
What was your first job that you landed?
I was a network project manager. I was a network PM. So I was in charge of building out the network infrastructure for. It was a company that was building data centers overseas. So I was in charge of building out the network infrastructure for it. So I coordinated with all the engineers. We built out a plan to implement all of the different equipment that we had to buy. I had to order all of the equipment and get it shipped overseas because it was in France. One was in France, one was in Hong Kong, and the other one was in Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
So network project manager, you saying you're shipping stuff here. I hear network project manager, I think this is all digital. Like, what do you mean? Like, what you shipping? Like, are you talking hardware? Is this? So
I'm in charge of. So as a PM, man, you're in charge of everything. You're in charge of the full scope of the project. So that means you're in charge of getting everybody together, getting all the stakeholders together, presenting all the information. You're tracking all the deadlines, tracking all of the equipment. I need to know when you bought it and how long it's going to take to ship, because that might be crucial in the next step. Mm-hmm. Because if I need this part in 3 months, because that's when this part of the project is going to be ready, then I need to have the equipment before 3 months. So I need to be able to track it to that detail. I need to know exactly when it's coming in, who's going to sign for it when it comes in. Because I need to assign it. Somebody might have to be on site when it gets delivered. You never know how to, just depending on where you are in the world. But it's a lot of detail that you got to just kind of catch on. Like, all right, I need to know all of this stuff.
So at a high level, like, you just really kind of having to, like, this kind of like a bird's eye view of the whole project, right? And
that's
making sure plugging and playing everything staying on track.
Yeah.
And when you transition from that, right? I know you were in Skillbridge. You worked as a program manager. Was that project management certifications, anything like that you needed to get?
Program management is like higher than a project manager, right?
It just depends on the company. So a program manager they run the entire. So it could be projects in a program.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be 10 projects, and I'm the program manager. I oversee 10 project managers that could be in charge of 10, 20 data centers. Each data center is its own project because there's so much stuff in each data center. Each data center is its own project. So I could be building 20 data centers, and I have 10 project managers working these data centers. I'm over all 20. I'm not at the program level. I'm not worried about when the equipment come in.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to know when you finish. Like, are you going to hit your? It depends on the company. Like, it's not stressful to me because I don't take it personal. It's just business. So a lot of people just like get caught up in their work, man. It's just not me. And they be obsessing over deadlines. Like, bro, either you do your job or you just don't work with us.
So what does that look like though? Like, let's say people are slacking off on their deadlines and shit. You know, at what point does it fall on you? Like, hey, yo, you got to get these motherfuckers together. Like,
Or immediately. That's why a lot of companies like vets, because we're a stickler for timeline. Well, not everybody. A lot of people are stickler for timelines because everything in the military is time based. But on the civilian side, people got to realize time is money now. It's not. In the military, man, you're going to finish it. It doesn't matter. It could take us 10 days. You're going to be out there working on it for 10 days. You ain't got 10 days because they're not going to spend $10 million on you in the civilian world. You got to be efficient in the 8 hours a day that you have. So that was the biggest thing. Time is money. But it just varies, man. The projects just depend on how big the project is, how long it's going to run. It could run 3 years. It could take you 3 years to finish a project. It just depends on exactly what you're doing because some companies might have too much volume to even handle. It just depends on the company.
Gotcha. So Frank, now one thing I was thinking about with this, whenever you find jobs pretty easily, man. I mean, we always talking with you over here. I mean, I got this contract. I done found this contract, right? How are you able to find these different contracts? Is it something that people are finding you via LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Is it something where you're sending out resumes? Kind of talk about that.
Because of your military friends.
Nice. That was one time. Well, I got another job. Anyways, I got another job.
He always got a new job. He like the opposite of Tommy from
No,
Mark.
so I got my first job when I got out. Before I get into that, but my first job I got out. My second job when I got out, I was an engineer, and I got that job just because I knew a guy that worked there, and he literally was like, "Hey, man, we got this position open. Do you want it?" I was like, "All right." Then the director called me. That was over him. Was like, "Hey, I got this job." He was laughing and joking on the phone. We didn't talk anything about the job.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Man, if you want the job, it's yours." I was like, "All right." And he's like, "I set your paperwork up." The next day, they sent me a contract, and it was more than what I even asked for because I didn't even know I was going to get the job.
Okay. So, and I know we're saying the word job right now, right? But are we talking about W-2 job or contract?
No, this is contract. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk contract. You're in tech. A lot of people think I got to go get a W-2 job to make the 6 figures, right? But you're working as an independent contractor. How are you negotiating with these people? Is there like, what are you asking for instead of getting a W-2 to get the independent contractor gig?
So first, a lot of companies offer C2C, which is corp to corp. It just depends on the company. Some companies don't allow that, man, but you can always ask to be 1099. You can ask it. They might not approve it. They might not say, "Hey, you can do that," but I mean, it never hurts asking. Mm-hmm. But you can say, "Hey, I want to be 1099. I'd rather do a contract." And they're like, "All right, I have a minimum that I always have a minimum no matter what. I don't care what the project is. My minimum is that, my minimum." Mm-hmm. And then once they tell me the scope of the project and how big it is.
Oh, what's your minimum?
At least 150.
Okay.
Yeah, at least 150. So I tell them my minimum, and then they tell me the scope of the project, and if it's more.
So gingerly. Man, say it with your chest next time.
Nah, because it's funny because it just varies. Or I might take a cut if it's a better opportunity, though.
Okay.
So like if it's something I've never touched before, and I know it can lead to more money down the line, then I'll take the cut.
Got it.
Like, is it when you say something you never touched, like a different field within project management, right? Like,
not necessarily a field, but a different software. So like, I helped a bank migrate all of their data. Mm-hmm. I took a cut because that's fintech.
Yeah, I'm about to say you got the finance.
So now I know. Yeah, so now I know how to manage moving data for banks. Like I know how to do data protection from them. I know how to migrate all of their information securely. I know the entire process now, just because I took a cut, and now I can leverage that into another contract.
Mm. Another reason why I did ask, what your minimum is, some of the advantages for the job as well. Now, if you're a 1099, they don't have to worry about paying your health insurance. They don't have to worry about contributing to your 401k plan. They don't have to worry about a lot of those things. So in all actuality, they might have been paying you $90,000, but they still would have been coming out on the other side almost at that 150, 160 anyway. So you able to put that money in your pocket and you can still do whatever they're going to do for yourself.
Yeah, and because I'm a veteran, I don't need healthcare. I don't never have to ask for it because I already got it for free for the rest of my life. So I can move from contract to contract as much as I want. It doesn't matter. So I don't never have to ask for healthcare, and I always get my money on top because of that. I tell them I don't need healthcare from the start. I don't need healthcare. How much more money can I get off the top because of that? And then they'll let me know. Like, all right, yeah, we can do this. All right, that makes sense.
Shit, why you on a healthcare plan?
And, like you said, and that's not just exclusive to tech. That's something you can do with your own, with almost any company.
Yeah, you can do that with a lot of companies. Yeah. As long as you're 1099, man, you have a lot more wiggle room. Because
and with the 1099, does that also kind of free you up in the idea of having multiple contracts? Yeah, because whenever you have multiple jobs, right, it's kind of frowned upon. We see it a lot now. I see a lot of headlines. They're talking about, tech industry cracking down on people having multiple jobs. How do you navigate that type of space with? Is the 1099 help?
It would, because you're not assigned to a certain company. Like you don't get benefits from it. You don't get anything from it. You just do the work. Mm-hmm. So I do a lot of C2C only because it goes through my company that I created. So I just pay myself.
So, okay, let's back this up. So now you're saying, I work with C2C. So you're working with that company, but you have your own structure, which they pay, and then you put yourself on salary?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can pay my own self whatever money I want.
Where'd you come up with that idea? Was it the guy whenever you're getting out, or how'd you just like, I'm going to form this business entity? Nah,
man. Really, my boy Reggie, man. Yeah, sit down, shout Reggie, man. Reggie. Yeah, shout out to Reggie again. Yeah, man, he kind of broke that down and made it make sense. It just made sense to do it that way, man. If you LLC yourself, it makes a lot more sense. It just taxes everything.
Instead of paying taxes on the front end, you pay it on
and then it's a lot less on you. I mean, a lot of your business can take a lot. Like you can get business insurance if something goes wrong. Mm-hmm. It's not expensive at all. Business insurance is only like $150 a month. And you get up to $1 million. It's crazy. So it's a lot of stuff that you can protect yourself from. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, man, you need something to help protect you. So that makes it a lot easier to operate.
Mm. You said something else that I kind of wanted to highlight too. Whenever you're like, you get some of your contracts relationship based. I think it was somebody we know, I forgot who it is, but what they said was resumes are for people without relationships.
Man, now you want me to think about who said that too.
So with you having those relationships, you were able to get these high paying jobs. But I know that, you still have to work on a resume. Are there any tips that you can share out here that, like, for the people who might not have those relationships? These are some things that you need to do to spruce up your resume so you can land some of these jobs or contracts?
I don't know about spruce it up, man, but I tell people, so like what I want to do, I wanted to be a project manager. So what I did, I went and looked at jobs.
So look, last night you looked at my resume, but I think you might have been a little drunk. You want to look at mine now and live audit it and be like, okay, this is what I would do to get you a project management job. Right. I don't mind you like reading it off and everything like that.
But I'll tell you what I did though. So what I did is look at jobs that I wanted. Mm-hmm. And then I just went and studied the stuff that they kept asking for in all these jobs. So like they wanted for a project manager, they wanted you to have Microsoft project experience. They wanted you to have Jira experience. These are cornerstones of the market. Like this is the most widely used. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, you can say it's fundamentals. As a project manager, you need to understand these tools.
Trying to relate it to sports, like
yeah. So you need to understand these tools because it's guaranteed that one of these companies you're gonna run into gonna use it, and it's just base information.
So let's say I wanna land a project management role based on this resume.
So I'll look at just off the last job. It's not enough detail. I don't see what scope of work did you manage. I don't see anything that actually breaks that down. Okay. Like what did you manage? You investigated, coverage, review, code documents, and navigated. Like for what?
Gotcha.
Like what specifically?
In the insurance industry.
Yeah, so you need to be more detailed. What systems did you use to do this stuff? Like how did you have daily stand-ups where y'all had to present information? Like a lot of that is project management stuff. That's just off the first one. Let me see what's up. Oh, so you're on the same.
Yeah, so yeah, like kind of what you're saying. You gotta find ways to translate what you're doing already
in project format.
So
as a project manager, you understand that you have scope, you have deliverables, you have all of that stuff. So
you got stakeholders. Like
you have to use that language. That's what the language they're looking for.
Okay, so what would the language you would tell me to enhance what you just saw? I can give you the things that you need to, like, I can tell you the systems and stuff that I use, but like, if it was somebody in this position, like, they don't know how to convey it, what would be the language you would tell them to use?
You need to put it as it starts to finish. So like, I need to say, this is how I started the project. We had this is the task. I need to, like, just break down the project in a project format. Mm-hmm. And you can look up what a project format is. It needs to be very detailed. I can say on my resume, I can say, when I was in charge of building the data centers, I'll say I was in charge of building out scope of data centers. I ordered all of the equipment. I managed the budget. And then put how much the budget was. It could be $1.3 million, whatever. I can we track KPIs and presented the information. We had 100% completion by this date. It just depends on how detailed I want to go with it. Then I can say all of the stuff I migrated or all of the data that I moved, exactly what it was. I had 80 terabytes of data that we migrated from a Splunk instance into a whatever. Like you can use that type of information so they understand that you know how to move data. You know what a migration is. You know how to manage them from start to finish. You know how to present the information to your VPs, whoever you're reporting to, because they want to see. VPs only care about KPIs. They don't care about all the extra stuff.
I got you.
So, is it in budget? That's it.
I got you.
Okay, so I kind of want to switch gears. I got a question, right? So I see like something that's been popping off. Now I think you and I spoke about it before. There are a lot of meetups and networking events and mixers for breaking into the tech industry. How valuable do you feel like those types of things are whenever you're really trying to get into it?
It's only valuable to an extent because a lot of these meetups are not tech focused. They're just focused on meeting up. So they're not like, what am I learning when I go there? So like they have a bunch of events in Dallas specifically where you actually get CUs once you complete them. They actually present information. It's just like a credit.
Continuing education type
stuff? Yeah. So like if I have a certification, I can present those CUs saying I'm still learning in that. So I can renew my certification without having to retake the test.
Gotcha.
So, but a lot of these meetups are just meetups, man. They don't present information. They're just to meet more people in tech. I mean, that's valuable to an extent, but what are you actually getting out of it? What are you going for? Are you just going to meet people? That's fine. But are you going to try to talk to the people to leverage you? Like, are you talking to them on a level where, hey, man, y'all have any openings at your company? I saw y'all had an opening at this company. You mind putting a referral in for me? Like, that's the type of stuff that I did when I went and I got a job. I got a contract at that meetup.
So were you actively looking for what companies are going to be there, then doing your homework on there before you pulled up?
No, I'm always just looking. So I never stopped looking for a new contract.
Okay. So let's say you walked around and you saw Facebook sitting in the corner. Would you just get on the Facebook website? Hey, I see y'all got this opener. Can you help me get this?
No, I'll go ask them. Hey, man, I got any openers? Y'all looking for people? Or y'all, like, I don't care. Like, it's not like if they say no, I don't care. Like, it doesn't. A lot of people get
butthurt.
Yeah, they get butthurt by rejection and denied. Like, I just don't care because it's all right, man. I appreciate it. Like, it doesn't affect me at all.
Because I mean, like you said, at the end of the day, the worst thing they could have just said was no. And they said
like,
no. Like,
I'm already expecting no. So when I go up and they say yes, all right, we got a conversation now. So I already, because company, man, they're hiring, but they're hiring very slowly now because they overhired during COVID, which makes sense, man. Everybody was working remote. I don't know why everybody's surprised by that. I don't get I don't understand why everybody is up in arms about why companies are like, they overhired during COVID.
Yeah. People kind of thought, like during COVID, that we were going to transition to this new normal, where everybody was going to be remote and people wouldn't want to congregate. And I think that's why, like around 2023 was really like the first year when it kind of really set in everybody's mind, like, yeah, we're not trying to go back to that COVID way and shit. And now I'm starting to see it, like how you said with the overhiring. I was going to bring that up. Last year they cut like 260,000 jobs in tech across all the sectors, and I think at the beginning of this year, I want to say I seen like 25K. I think they said like PayPal cut like 10,000 people. Jalen, you had something with some statistics on it. But yeah, like all that overhiring is what you think led to that?
Oh yeah, it's probably at this point now because of the economy, but they definitely overhired because they had so much infrastructure to maintain. With all of the people working remote, man, it was almost impossible to be able to do that without hiring thousands of extra people. So it's not a surprise to me. Like, I expected that, and that's why I keep trying to move forward. Like, I don't get comfortable at any position because they could just say, "All right, man, we appreciate your time." So I don't look for security in jobs. Or
that's why you're always looking for another contract.
Yeah, like I'm always searching because I know they will let you go in a heartbeat. And I was doing that before they started firing everybody. This is how I think. Because they don't owe you anything. And people feel like these jobs need them when they can just.
I gave you my whole life.
But people think jobs need them when I can just hire somebody overseas for 10 times less than you and still do the same work. And they don't complain.
Yeah, they're actually grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, I ain't got to give them 100 benefits. I got to pay them 6 figures. So you got to understand that these companies are trying to save money for themselves. And you need to move accordingly. So you need to constantly be trying to learn new equipment, new software, new whatever, because you will be replaced. And it ain't got nothing to do with AI. It's just cost saving.
So do you think right now with all of the job cuts and everything, it's still a good time for people to get into tech? Still a good time for people to make this transition?
Absolutely. I don't care about the cuts. I mean, it's going to happen in every industry. It doesn't matter. It's just the economy.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because I mean, tech not the only one cutting jobs, right?
Yeah, people just focused on it because it's big news.
Yeah.
And it got mainstream, it got popular, but it's not an easy transition, and people think it's going to be 3-month boot camp, and they're going to be making 6 figures in tech, and it's just not going to happen. I don't care.
It's a lie, guys.
It's not.
Those boot camps ain't going to get you a job.
So the boot camps can teach you. They're not going to get you a job, though.
And I think that's the thing what I was talking about earlier, right? A lot of these people that'll say stuff like, I got in or something like that, they have some type of experience beforehand.
And they got lucky. No, it's just genuine timing. You just got, the company was looking for somebody, you had this certain skill set, and they hired you. There's nothing, there's nothing magical about it. Like, you just got lucky. Because it could be, it's random, man. It's so random. There's nothing, I can't guarantee anybody a job. I don't care how much training I present to them. I can tell you to study for this, and this helped me get a job. But I can't go say, hey, man, hire this dude because he just studied. He just took that plus. Like, it's not, he just took my course. He knows this stuff. 45 other people just did it. The same thing. Like, what sets you apart? So
you got to be, like you said, you got to be competitive. So I know you mentioned you always learning new things, right? To stay competitive. What are some of these, like, newer technologies and stuff that will help somebody be competitive in that space?
Well, tech period or just
project management? Tech period. Well, let's go project management because that's your specialty.
I was in project management at minimum. Like I said, you need to know the software that we use to manage projects, and that's Jira, that's Confluence, that's GitHub, that's it's a bunch of different softwares that we use. Microsoft Project is a basic that almost every company at some point uses. You know how to use Excel if you want to really get. Not just loading. You need to know how to put the code in the blocks and that type of detail.
Make it start spitting out charts and all that.
Like I know how to create dashboards and all of that in Excel, and they look like I spent $1 million on them, but just basic
dashboards, like
dash. So like on my dashboards, I can put my project task in there, and then put a percentage of complete, and then I can click my dashboard on the next tab, and it'll have all the percentages averaged out for that section. So like,
I ain't never seen that one. I ain't gonna lie. So it's kind of like a progress bar type situation to help you track everything.
It like in the planning phase,
it's actually done in Excel. I didn't think you could do that in Excel.
Yeah. So like the planning phase, I'll have 10 tasks in the planning phase that I have to complete. I can have
check them off.
I'll put 100%, and it'll update automatically into the dashboard. So you can see overall planning phase is 80% complete, and then that's all the VPs want to see is that, man, we almost finished planning. It's 80%. We'll be finished in 2 weeks.
Okay, so that brings up something important, right? Like, so with the Excel skill set, it's more so about transparent reporting than anything, right? As a project manager,
everything's about reporting.
Yeah.
All of the project plan stuff is for me. It's not really for everybody else. All I have to do, like my main focus is to report project status, and make sure I'm tracking. Like if there's an issue, then if I have to escalate that to a different level, then that's something else. But I'm reporting project status. That's all the VPs want to see. How far along in the project? Are you in budget? That's all they care about. Are you in budget? And mostly, they don't care about status project. Are you in budget? Are we going to complete on time? All right, I got you. That's all you want to see. I got you. We spent $800,000 already. The budget was 1.3. We're getting very close to that. Are you going to make the budget? Yes. So everything has to be mapped out at the beginning. Like if I'm working a project and I have another company, like a third party company or a vendor cost, they have to send how much money it's going to cost them to do whatever they got to do for the project already. It's already mapped out. So I know it's going to cost us $200,000 because that's what y'all quoted it for. So we already know that's what.
So don't come back with a different number on bullshit.
Yeah, like so now you can't come back and say we need $300,000. No, you quoted me for this work for $200,000. If y'all can't do it, then that's
find somebody else.
Yeah, we're only paying you the $200,000. You know, like legally they have to finish it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
The cost is on them now because they didn't properly quote or understand how much work it was actually going to be. So it's a lot of different. That's so much. You got to learn contracting. You got to understand all of that stuff, like actual contracts with businesses. I guess it's the same thing, but you got to start understanding how the money moves. You got to understand how the money moves. That's the biggest, most important.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into.
Like you're looking at what moves corporations are making. Like when you talked about that bank, the bank that you helped move over, that was like a merger type situation.
It was a buyout. So another bank bought out another bank, and so I had to migrate all the old data from the bank that they bought out to the new bank.
All their customer data, all of their accounts, and all of that type of stuff.
For like, you got to understand the there's federal mandates for everything. So banks have to retain information for a certain amount of years. So now you got to understand that you got to pay for storage because you can't delete all the information you just migrated in the next 2 years. So how much does storage cost for 10 years? The storage for them was $50 million. It was $50 million a month to store all of that data.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, if we have to do it, because they had already been fined $1 billion for not properly storing data before. So they didn't care about the $50 million a month.
feel like you was dealing with Wells Fargo, but I'm not.
Nah,
you get a little too into the weeds, man.
Nah, it wasn't Wells Fargo, but
you know they
You
get
gonna
in
get my
trouble.
nigga clearance snatch, man.
Nah, Wells Fargo they be staying in trouble. I ain't saying nothing. Nobody gonna know about it.
I mean, still, man.
Understanding that money, man, I was like, this is crazy because I didn't even think it was that much money. Like,
Man, you said it was fined $1 billion.
Fined $1 billion. I was like, yeah, we just got fined. They just said it like it was casual. I was like, I guess y'all don't care. But that sounds crazy to me.
Was there ever a time in your project or program management where you kind of underwent on the budget, or were you always really tight on your planning part of the phase?
I mean, I went over budgets, so like it just depends. You gotta be. That's why I say you gotta be very transparent. So as long as I am keeping everybody in a loop and saying, hey, we might not make this might not be enough money.
Do they get pissed off, or they just be like, oh, okay, man?
I mean, they can get pissed off all they want. But it's not like I'm making up the cost. It wasn't like it was something that we didn't already expect in the beginning, because you got to mitigate risk in the beginning. You already know this is a risk. It was already identified in the beginning. Hey, this might cost us money.
I got you.
We just don't know yet. So
this is a projected budget.
Yeah. So all of it's always projected budget in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And you try your hardest to keep it in that budget, but sometimes it goes over. But as long as you already presented that risk, they already know it's a possibility, so it's not a big surprise. They might be mad, but they're like, all right, man, we already do this. Let's just get this done.
More so about covering yourself in the beginning of the process. Like,
yeah, you got to be risk. You got to manage risks very heavily in creating a project plan, regardless. Like, it's one of the first things. All right, man. So like when I worked as a network PM when I first got out, it was during COVID still, so it was massive delays in shipping hardware. And then crypto was booming, and everybody was trying to mine for crypto. So there was chip shortages.
GPU.
Yeah, there were chip shortages, and then PlayStation was dropping all of that. So all of this stuff affected how we could get equipment, because they didn't have enough chips to put into the equipment. So it was an automatic 8-month delay. It took them 8 months to build our equipment and send it to them. We just built them a data center. So I automatically had to incorporate that 8 months in my project plan. And then what can we do in that 8 months
to still move things forward?
Yeah. So by the time the 8-month hit, all it is plug and play. So that's what we had to do. Can we use old equipment in the meantime? Until we get the new ones in, we just switch them out. And that's exactly what we did.
Gotcha. How do some of these skills transition into real life for you? With working with millions and millions of dollars of budget, does that help you budget in real life? Your timelines and everything like that. How does that transition for you personally?
Definitely manage. I've gotten better at it, man. Because I never managed that much money. Like,
in the military, you was fucking off your money. You had to charge all the Hellcat, whatever.
You get the Camaro right after you got
I don't even like those cars. Nah, but it just, you never got to really, because the money's already, like when you in the military, you only see the lowest level of it. You don't know that the bill they made was $1 trillion. Like, you don't see that. You don't even understand what that means.
Pentagon fucking lost.
Yeah, like you don't understand what that means. So when you get in these projects and the project is $55 million, and then you got to manage it down to every dollar because you got to report on every dollar. That was new to me. So definitely understanding that was like, all right, man, let me really get into this budgeting, because that's one of the biggest pieces of projects. But I've gotten a lot better at it, man. In the beginning, I didn't care, because I was free from the military, man. I was spending way too much money. But now I've kind of calmed down a lot, man. And now I'm just saving. I'm trying to plan out what I want to do next. I want to retire soon.
That was going to be my follow-up question, like, because, this is Black Wealth Renaissance. What are you doing to plan for the next phase? Are you investing? What are some of those things that you...
I haven't started investing yet, man. I want to do more research. I don't want to just... I don't want to be that guy to say, hey, invest in this and jump into this, and it's not what I'm good at.
Gotcha.
So I would definitely want to sit down with somebody and really discuss that. So I haven't started doing that. I'm just really saving right now. I'm just putting money up for retirement. Because it's just, like, I haven't started investing. Like, if I plan on getting into real estate soon, but it's not like I'm not as passionate about real estate. So I'd rather do something I'm passionate about. And I think the only thing I'm doing,
I mean, even with investing, it doesn't just have to be, oh, I'm investing in real estate, I'm investing in the stocks. You can be investing into other businesses within your industry. You can say, hey, look, I'm about to buy a project management firm, and now I'm investing in that. I mean, those are different ways to diversify your income.
Yeah, I agree. So I would say this: me and a few people that I know, we're doing a joint venture, and we're gonna finally launch a mentoring platform where we can finally teach tech, and then not try to break the bank for people.
I got you.
Then I want to partner with these companies that actually issue certs, and then be able to offer the cert at the end of it, or at least offer a voucher so you can actually go take the test, so it actually be worth it.
That's dope.
But I don't want to. I'm not gonna charge you $15,000 for that.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't make sense. Like, who am I to tell you that this is gonna get you a job? And I have no authority in the space. I can just tell you my experiences, but
you can give them what worked for you.
Yeah,
kind of help get them a leg up with your mistakes.
So I can get the plan is to have every single certification that y'all can think of on the website, and it's going to have a tailored plan on how to complete it. All the information you need, how to take the test. It's going to have quizzes. It's going to have everything on there. It's going to be a whole platform, man. Then I can go in and look at your progress. I can go in and look at it, see if you're actually doing the work. And then when you come to me and say, hey, you're not understanding something, I can actually go in and see where you're stuck at. So it's a lot of, it'll do a lot of people good. Definitely.
So, is your target audience like military vets or anything like that?
I want to target, of course, vets, man, because they need a lot of transition mentoring. And then I want to target like schools. And try to get it into the younger, like maybe high school.
The ROTC type kids, maybe even.
No, more than that. Just anybody that's interested in tech, sit down with them and say, hey, I mean, I can go to the school and sit down and do a whole presentation. Talk to the parents, man, and say, y'all want to enroll your kids into these courses, man. It'll give them a leg up. It'll give them a leg up moving into tech, because the sooner you start, the better. It doesn't matter your age, man. The sooner you start. If you understand how to hack computers at 16, your experience starts then.
It made me think about something we talked about with Malcolm Adams, those apprenticeship programs. That might be something. I'm gonna get with him and I'm gonna get with you about that. Yeah. Maybe something that could connect the dots on. But I wanted to ask you, like, I know you said right now you just kind of like in a stack mindset. So like you just putting up money, not just in a regular savings account, right, my brother? Like that's what I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you gotta be beating inflation.
Like you get high yield savings accounts, so you're taking advantage of things like they got different tools. I mean, you got your own, since you're paying yourself through your own company, things like the SEP IRA, where you can save for retirement that way. I know that's kind of the goals. Are you taking advantage of those types of things?
Yeah, I already have the IRA set up. It's been set up, man. It's been set up for a minute. So it's crazy. So there's a program in the military. It's called thrift savings. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, it's called TSP is what they nickname it, but it's a lot of people don't utilize it soon enough, because you should use it as soon as you get in the military, man. And it's like, man, there's so many programs in the military that saves you money. Like there's a SDP program, a savings deposit program, where if you leave it in there for a year, you get 10% interest on it.
What?
Yeah. Every year,
10%.
Yeah, it's 10% interest on it. Man, there's a lot of programs in the military. Like even buying, bro. Like, it's a lot of stuff.
That's you guys. You don't understand. You just said 10% return on your cash, and that's like a guaranteed 10%. That's kind of crazy.
And then they got what is the program they got? They got where so it's crazy. A lot of vets don't know that it is illegal for like car dealerships and to sell cars at a certain percentage over. So like as a active duty military person, they are illegally selling cars to soldiers.
What you mean?
Whenever they go buy that Hellcat?
No, like the percentage, the APRs.
Mm-hmm.
The APR is not supposed to be above a certain level.
Oh, okay.
So like 29 they be getting 29.9%, 20. That's illegal, and the vets don't know it. I mean, active duty soldiers don't know it, and they don't know how to. You can literally bring that letter up and send it to those companies, and a lot of them will refund your money.
Wow.
Because they're not. It's illegal to
charge over a certain
interest rate. But it's a lot. You need to do a lot of research. You can't just go say, "Hey, I ain't paying this no more." That's not how it works. Don't even try to do that. But it's a lot of programs set up for veterans, man, and it's.
And you said that was called the which one?
I can't remember the name of the program, man. I would have to look it up.
I know you said there's a thrift savings plan, the dollar, which one?
Oh, savings deposit program.
Savings deposit program. That's the one when they give you 10%. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
TSP is TSP is good for retirement too. I know the retirement for military transitioned a few years ago. It's not like it used to be because the TSP is it wasn't TSP, but TSP is something you can invest in, man. It has Roth IRA, it has all that stuff in there already. And you can pick which fund you want to put your money into.
Gotcha.
You can split it up. You can do whatever you want, or you can do it on the high yield ones, and you might get more money in return, but it's volatile, so you don't know if you're gonna lose money or So it's a different. You got to really look into what's going on and how the economy is. But if you leave it in there for a long period of time, you're gonna be good when you get out. I had a guy in the military that was like 40 years old when I first got in, and he told me about it. I didn't know what it was. He was an older guy, and he was good with finance. He was like, "Hey, put your money in here. You'll thank me later."
Shout out to OG, man.
Yeah, I was like, "All right."
One thing.
Shout out to you for listening too.
Facts. Because one thing, like, regardless of the fact, I always like to try to see and tell people that I talk to about it. Time in the market is always better than trying to time the market. You know, like, even if you start, I think I started investing when I was like 23 or something like that. And it didn't start, you don't start big if you don't have like a lot right then and there. $5, $10, put it in there and just start building up the habit. You know, like whenever you start putting money away and letting compound interest get to work, that's whenever you're really going to see the benefit. We often, a lot of times, we look at investing, well, too many people look at investing as like, oh, I'm going to take $10,000 and I'm going to turn it to $20,000 in a year's time. When in reality, like that $10,000, if you turn it to $11,000, you did damn good, you know?
Yeah. And then another space I want to fully get into is the government contract. Because I'm a disabled veteran, we get a lot of, and there's so many benefits out there. But because I'm a disabled veteran, man, we can get first dibs if we have the company set up. Because of the level of your disability. If you're 100%, man, your name get bumped up on the list for certain contracts. So you have to be cognizant of it. It's not an easy field to get into, a space to get into, but there's a lot of understanding that you have to have. But that's my end goal for my company anyway, because I don't want to have to work the contracts anymore. You know, I need to get to a point where I just go get the contract and I just hire
facilitate.
Yeah. Or subcontract to another company.
I was just about to say, would you get like a little percentage off of that if you were to do it that way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of these contracts, the government just have sitting there for years. And they could be $10 million. They can go from $5,000 to $100 million. I mean, you're not just going to bid on a $100 million contract off the rip. Don't even think that's going to happen, but a lot of these companies.
You got to have the capability to do
you got to have the track record, man. You got to build your resume with government contracting as well, because all of that stuff has to be put into the proposal. Gotcha. What have you done? Why are you even asking for this opportunity? So, but it's a lot of understanding that I'm learning now, that you got to go into that.
Okay, so now I got this question. It's more of a bullshit situational question. Something I was reading yesterday that I was like, it's interesting. Let me ask Frank this, man. So there was this dude, right? There's an article. He was like, his wife makes 4 times as much as him, and he wasn't cool with staying at home. He said he started becoming jealous of her success, and he wasn't fucking with her no more after that. And I was like, that's kind of crazy, right? Like you would think, you married, y'all a team. They was together. They had like context, right? They've been together like 11 years. Okay. He worked as an auto technician, and she was like a social worker. And he was the breadwinner for them 11 years, And she got a job in tech. Started making like 150, 160.
How much was he bringing in with the auto tech?
Probably like 70, 80, something like that. So she was making more than him. It was like,
sorry,
like doubling the salary, right? Whatever. So he quits his job to take care of the family and all that shit. And now he in a situation where he mad at his woman because she making more money than him. So my question to y'all is, would y'all be comfortable in a situation where your woman is the breadwinner?
Man, I don't care. Because, bro, I don't care only because I'm making my own money too. Like, if I'm in a union with somebody, I'm not in competition with them. That'd be very weird that would be a very weird space to be in. So why would I be Like regardless. Like, so the relationship only worked out because I made more money. That doesn't make sense to me.
I think it was a lot of the role reversal. I know. I honestly, I'm speaking honestly to me as a man. I understand where he's coming from, especially if you're used to taking care of things in the household. If you was the one taking care of everything, like I know it's easy to take your ego out of it and say, "Oh, I wouldn't do it," but you got 11 years this way. You got kids, all this. Your whole little world and got turned upside down.
I'm on break.
Hey man, camera on me. Hey, disclaimer. I'm about to get in. He was making $70K, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said $70K, and she just went to $150.
Yeah.
Pipe down, nigga. She just doubled your shit.
It's your fault.
What? You was a auto tech, a glorified fucking mechanic, nigga. That's what that is.
Like
glorified mechanic.
Like you didn't think to upskill at any point in those 11 years.
So that's one. Move out the way, little boy. Like, nigga, move. Clear out. Secondly, like Frankie said, I'm on break. I'm about to find the fountain of youth. I'm about to blow her back out every time she come back home from work. I got so much energy. Bitch, I'm about to start building my own business. I'm cool.
Like it's something else you can do at home. Like he just sitting at home all day. What is he doing?
Mad.
Just pissed off.
Making more money
But
than me.
who made this nigga? Who made him go back home though?
Well, so, okay, the reason he went back home, because when she was a social worker, social workers, they set their own hours, kind of. You set appointments with people. So she was able to pick up the kids and shit. So they had nobody to pick up the kids no more.
Nigga, how long did it take to fucking pick up kids? Currently, I drop and pick off my...
Work schedule,
I
bro.
currently drop and pick off my son.
If you show up at 7 and get off at 5.
But he was the only mechanic at the shop.
Nigga, I don't know if he was the only mechanic.
Right.
But, like I said, I don't see the whole idea of, like, damn, I want to leave my woman for her making more money than me. But I can understand how his little pride got hurt, man.
I mean, his pride should be hurt because he sat there for 11 years and didn't try to do anything else. That's what should be hurt. Like, his pride should be hurt because she's making more money. He had 11 years to do some other shit. She went from social work to tech. She did something else. That means she had, at some point in 11 years, she was studying.
How about you take the time now and you go get in tech?
Yeah, like what?
Like,
that's not something that's, like if I'm in a relationship, bro, if you're doing better than me, all right, man, let me buckle down and figure out what the hell I'm doing now.
Nigga, go become a bus driver, work 3 hours out the fucking day,
and
then do something else throughout the fucking day.
I refuse to believe there's nothing else he could do to make more money. He chose to stay a mechanic. Like, I ain't saying we don't need mechanics.
Clear out, little boy.
Like, I ain't saying we don't need mechanics because we need them, but
you do need mechanics, but
there's also other mechanics that's making over 6 figures easy because they got certifications. He could have at least got more certifications.
He could have increased his value in his industry.
Yeah, like he could have got more certifications, got certified in BMW, got certified in Audi. That's what them boys making $200 an hour to work on crap. So it's not an excuse to me. I don't believe in excuses, man. It bothers the hell out of me when people make excuses. Definitely, they can get up and walk. They can do anything. If you can get up and walk, man, you're perfectly fine. You should be able to do anything I can do. You have the same amount of hours in the day I got. You just chose to work on change oil instead of studying.
I'm gonna still be making. I could see if I was just at home being a fuck boy, I'm not making no money. As long as I'm bringing in my own bread, why am I jealous of you?
Yeah, that's just weird.
Do you feel like they would create a difference in the power dynamic in the household?
Only if you let it.
Exactly.
So
once again, I'm about to knock her wig to the side. You about to have the best time of your life over here, baby.
Did
we good.
Like what they call them niggas, the homosexuals.
Oh, what, man? You know how them broke.
Bro, did her? That's great.
you know what I'm about to say.
You know the niggas that be living on the women couch.
Man, whenever you broke, that's when you sling the best meat.
Did her mentality change? Did they say anything about that?
No, she didn't. She just noticed he started becoming more distant.
Once again, that's him.
That's his fault, man. I'm already.
That's him.
Send me the article.
I'm good.
I was listening to you.
Send me the article so I can respond.
I'm good.
You gonna say some ignorant shit other than this?
Come on, babe. How many hours you just did? Let me rub your feet whenever you get home. Oh, man, I'm good. And I just worked on the business all day today. Look, this is my business plan. You want to go over with it?
I know you got ideas already.
Yeah, like...
You've been working for 11 years. I've been over here bullshitting in the shop. Get up.
I don't understand it. Hey, more power to you, brother.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting, The male ego and pride, man. It's a thing. You know, we brought up to,
I try not
provide or all that shit. Mm-hmm.
I try not. I mean, as a man, you still do want to provide and shit. But ultimately, once you get to that point where you got kids and you got a family, ultimately you would like to be the provider, but the ultimate goal is to make sure that y'all not going without. And I don't care if that's me providing it, my woman providing it. Once again, as long as I'm contributing something to it, and like Frankie asked, if she started to act different, she like, okay, now you ain't bringing in enough money and all of this shit. Now come on out. I just was holding it down for 11 years, and now you're gonna flip the script after you just get a better job. That's different. But if she wasn't tripping, and once again I'm still providing, I'm just not the majority share of the provider. What I gotta trip for?
Like it's easier. Like it's literally easier. Like if he's paying the bills off $70K, that means $150K. Now y'all can do whatever y'all want.
And they did mention in there they had joint accounts. So and to say you can still feel like the man. I grabbed the card, all that little shit, all that bullshit. Yeah,
I would never understand that.
So stay at home dads, Jalen and Frank.
I didn't say stay at home dad. That's the part that.
Yeah, I never said.
I didn't say stay at home dad.
Yeah, I ain't never said I would do that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I said I'm still gonna bring in money. I just might not be bringing in the lion's share, and I'm cool with that.
I know he did take another job, so I think I told you that, right? He took like a job as a janitor or some shit. Yeah.
Once again,
that's not
your fault, little nigga.
He keep going back. He keep going down further. Now he just doing odd jobs. He'll make this. We're not. Anyways, that doesn't make any sense. He refuses to just upskill and get another skill.
Bullshit.
Yeah, like he gonna get other jobs that's not gonna equate to more money. He's just doing 45 jobs now. He probably only making $100K now.
As a janitor?
No, he ain't making $100K no janitor.
I was talking about combining it with the mechanic work.
Oh no, he ain't doing the mechanic no more. That did.
Yeah, he completed.
Yeah.
Well,
he was independent. But got y'all's opinion on that one. So let's roll into the next little thing, man. We got our next section that
my favorite section of the show. Presented by PSBS.
The Private Small Business Society. Yo, we got Standing on Business presented by the Private Small Business Society. All right, Frank. So look, it's like a little mini game show. We got a few questions for you just to test your business knowledge. So Jalen got a few questions. The way we do this, we read off. They're multiple choice. You got 3 options for answers. We read you the question, give you the answers.
Ooh, and I got a question related to project management.
Yeah. Are you looking at all of them or the ones I left in there? Bet. So look, I'm gonna let Jalen kick it off. He gonna ask you the first question, and we need to start putting a time limit on this shit or something, man. Like you got 60 seconds.
We're in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Yeah, let's get it.
That's enough time.
Nah, you ain't Googling shit. Leave your phone in your pocket.
All right,
okay,
so
guys.
Question number 1. Let's get it. Stand on business.
I am your host of Standing on Business, Mr. Pitts. The very first question I have for you: which of the following components which of the following is a key component of effective marketing? I'm gonna give you 3 choices, right? Choice A: focusing solely on traditional advertising. Choice B: ignoring online marketing channels. Or choice C: understanding and targeting the right audience. And I will repeat the question.
I go C.
Yeah. You final answer?
Yeah.
Hey, he got it right.
1 for 1. Let's go.
Confidence. I
Like
love
you say, he's smart. Let's see if you're really
I'm
smart.
the smartest in the group.
Debatable.
You know what that means whenever you say that out loud.
Debatable.
You're really the dumbest. You just say
All right,
man. You ready for the next
Yeah,
question?
let's go. All right, I got question number 2 for you, man. All right, what is the main goal of customer relationship management? A, to reduce the number of employees. B, to improve customer relationship and satisfaction. C, to focus solely on new customer acquisition.
Say the question one.
What is the main goal of customer relationship management? You need me to repeat the question?
Yeah, one more time.
I mean, the answers?
Yeah.
A, reduce the number of employees. B, improve customer relationships and satisfaction. C, focus solely on new customer acquisition.
You say B.
Hey.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, 2 for 2. All right, you're doing good so far, man. I think
Stats going up.
Let's see what
you
you
in there.
got.
You might be one of the smartest.
My attributes are going up.
You getting a little skill tree.
Yeah. Getting up, man.
Okay. This one is related to project management. In project management, the critical path is... you forgot about it. A, the most expensive path through a project. B, the shortest path to complete a project. Or C, the sequence of tasks that determines the minimum project duration. This is related to the critical path.
I don't say C.
Okay, all right, shit, boy.
I feel like you're guessing, but hey,
you know they say, hey, the dumb ones always say you pick C and you can't never go wrong, man.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. So I was actually, I got reached out for a contract, a critical path project manager when I woke up this morning.
Oh, damn.
That's how crazy it is. And I was like, why does that sound familiar? So I looked it up this morning. It's literally in my email. That's how crazy.
I'm about to say,
it's an opening in Arlington for a critical path
project for like the city.
I don't know who's it for, but they didn't have all that in the description. They'll never tell me the description.
Got you. You next.
All right. So question number 4 of 5. Right now you 3 for 3, so you're doing damn good, Frank. I'm surprised. You might just be smart. All right. So which of the following is an example of a tangible asset? Employee skills, patents, or manufacturing equipment?
C? Is it ABC or is it?
Yeah. Yeah, C. So, all right. C would be manufacturing equipment. You are correct. So that's 4 for 4. He might be the first 5 for 5.
Nah, we had a few.
Who hit 5 for 5?
What you call it now?
Candace got stumped.
You make it up.
Nah, it's somebody did hit 5 for 5.
Erica and Chris got stumped.
At the first one.
Jake don't count.
Mignon.
I'm about to say Jake don't count.
Went 5 for 5.
Okay.
Question number 5. What does B2B stand for in business terminology? You know it.
It's a business.
There you go, man. All right. So Frank's standing on business, man. I feel like we gave him some easy questions, but you got it.
Appreciate that, man. I appreciate the 5, man.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
What's 5 attributes?
That's what I'm saying about, man. So again, y'all, that's Standing on Business brought to you by the Private Small Business Society. Purpose of this is to help educate small business owners. We were talking about the pandemic a little earlier, right? During the pandemic, we seen an influx of new business owners. A lot of people out here just running around in the forest blindfold. They don't know what the fuck they do.
Making courses and selling
just making and selling courses and doing whatever they think works and not building real sustainable businesses. That's what the Private Small Business Society is about, providing actual business education in the vocational world so that you can take them skills and build a business of your dreams. So y'all check out the Private Small Business Society. You can click the link in the show notes or go to thepsbs.com.
Yes, sir. So we're going to get into our last questions of the show. These questions are going to be finance-based and pretty much just like personal finance-based. I'm going to let David take it away with his favorite question.
Yes, sir. So what's the biggest money lesson that you've learned?
Oh, man.
I got another question to add to that.
The biggest money lesson? I guess the contracts kind of come and go, so don't like upgrade your lifestyle too much to where you can't afford to live, to survive. So like you could be making $500,000 this year, but in the contract space, it might drop down to $100K the next year. Yeah. So you got to be cognizant of how you manage your money. Definitely in contracting. So because you got good times and you have bad times. So.
That's good. Yeah, like you said, making sure you don't let that lifestyle creep come in just because you're making more money this year.
Yeah, project manager, we call it scope creep. So don't let scope creep mess your whole project up. So
your life is a project. I like that. Yeah. So I have a question to mirror that is, what is your wildest money mistake?
Wildest?
Or like the wildest thing that you spent money on, like you just like, oh man, I really did this.
I don't know if I have anything that crazy, man. I bought 2 cars I shouldn't have. That was a terrible decision. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was
your woman back there looking like, I can name a few.
Yeah, that was a terrible decision.
What was the car?
Nah, it wasn't even that expensive. I just shouldn't have bought it. I just only needed one. It was. I had a plan when I first did it, and it was stupid. So, yeah.
Were you going like Turo or something?
Yeah, that was my initial plan.
Gotcha.
We'll use one as Turo. I was like,
I don't know these people fucking up my car.
exactly.
I can hear your ass.
Too many stories.
I can hear your ass.
When
Look at this dumbass. I'm not letting them drive my car.
Yeah, when I started looking up the stories on people and all the terrible experiences, I was like, bro, this is the dumbest. I'm good. I mean, some people can do it, man. I just ain't got the patience for people. People be driving your car across the country and then leaving it. Now you got to figure out how you're going to get it from Florida. Like, bro, what's happening? So, yeah, that was the plan when I first got out of the military. It just didn't happen.
Gotcha. Okay, my second question is, damn, you kind of fucked me up with that. Hold on, let me put it up. Ariane, I'm gonna have to edit some of this up. Oh, are you frugal or are you a flexor?
No, frugal. I never try to flex. I'm
I
not.
don't believe it.
What? When have you ever seen me flexing?
When are we taking shots?
Cap.
That's a shot time. That's
Nah. You were a flexor.
Taking shots?
Nah, I'm just talking shit. But
Oh.
you got flexor. So you'll take no. You're not a flexor, but you will spend some money. I won't say you just like
I will spend money.
frugal. When I think frugal, sometimes yeah, I don't want to spend nothing. You'll spend bread, bro.
Nah, I feel like that's just tight and cheap.
Yeah, I can have different opinions.
Yeah.
Cool. Then my last question is, do you have life insurance?
Absolutely. I have so this is a perfect example. So when you leave the military, they offer you something called SGLV. So not SG, it's a VGLI, which is Veterans Group Life Insurance. If you're 100% disabled when you get out, you get 2 years for free. So you don't have to pay anything on it. You go out and you get the $500,000. And it increases by $15,000 every year. After the 2 years, you only pay $400 a year for the entire policy. So I pay my once. And if you pay it all at once, then it's less. So I pay the $400 every May, and I'm good for the year.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
So I'll probably get more eventually. Well, probably sooner than later. But a lot of veterans don't even utilize it because you only have 6 months after you get out to even utilize it. They don't even know it's available. Even though they tell you all this stuff, people just don't read the fine print. So I just read the fine print, man, and it was like, you want VGLI? I was like, sure. So, and it increased, yeah. I think it said mine's like $525 now.
You said what, VGLI variable group life?
No, veterans group life insurance.
Okay.
So that's gonna be our wrap up on this. I want you to let the people know where can they follow you, where can they get in touch. Maybe there's a veteran that's listening to this and they're like, man, I need some help. How can they contact you, anything like that?
Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn, Frankie Pitts. I'm on Facebook, Frankie Pitts. I'm on Instagram, Mr. 33 Tech. I have my business page is 33 Technology Group on Instagram. Yeah, man, if you reach out to me on any of those pages or add me or anything like that, man, if I can help you out as much as possible, I will. And then I'm launching we're going to call it cyberfitness.com March 1st. Okay. So it'll be available, the full platform, all of the courses and everything. If y'all want to reach out and ask me more about that, y'all can do that as well. But yeah, we should be good.
That is the best, man. Well, Frank, bro, appreciate you.
Thank you, my brother.
Oh, yeah,
appreciate you for pulling up, man.
Definitely. So before we get out of here, we're going to do a couple house cleanup items. As always, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into the show. Make sure you leave that 5-star rating and review. It helps us continue to grow the show. Also, guys, if you, we know we always ask on the show.
Yeah, we got exciting news.
Yeah, are you looking?
Pew, 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 pew.
Somebody, do you have insurance? It's something we ask everybody. We want to make sure that we are insured because we talk about mitigating risk. It's just one of those things when we talk about building wealth. Insurance is the easiest way to build generational wealth. So we wanted to let you guys know that if you want to get a policy, right, you can reach out to Black Wealth Renaissance directly now. Jalen and David with your license. So that is an opportunity there. So you hear that, you think, man, I need some help with that. Reach out to us. We have a team over
we
here.
could do a presentation, talk about some of the benefits, see what your lifestyle is like, figure out what policy would work for you. And then also we are bringing back BWR Academy. So once you get that policy, we're just going to teach you about personal finance, how you can start changing your life, how you can start changing some of those habits so you can start living a better financial life. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with us. We'll set you up with a Zoom link for a presentation.
Yes, sir. So yeah, just shoot us an email if you're interested. You get us at podcast@BlackWealthRenaissance. We'll be more than glad to help you out. So that's all I got. Jalen, you got anything else for him?
Black Men Summit is coming back. It's coming back. Atlanta again, September 2024. We are back. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Pre-sale tickets are going on sale very, very soon.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got.
Yes, sir. So as always, y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in.
Your
Until
progression,
next
you
time,
stop having doubts.
BWR.
And what's the point of having clout? You can't cash it out.